Every metric is going to be different for every business. So again, like guru's gonna guru sort of thing. They're going to tell you their exact shtick. And that's just not the reality for most businesses. Like a financial advisor has very different metrics. Retention for them is key because they may only get 10 clients a year, but if I can keep 99% of them, business is going up and to the right. And so everyone is going to be different. It also depends on what is being sold, what the offer is, et cetera. Like we did a consult for a client yesterday. It was takes about a month to compile all the information, then about 4 hours to read it out of like, here's the findings. And so I'll use like that as an example. This particular person is selling a $250 book. Freaking incredible piece of art, business book, absolutely amazing. Really, really cool. But the problem is that their CPA, their cost per acquisition, was about $200, maybe a little bit less than that, on a $250 book. But when you figure in your COGS, your cost of goods sold, plus admin, fulfillment, and all of the other sort of stuff, they were losing money. So when they look at it like at the high level, hey, we're crushing it. But when you really break it down further than that, they were losing money, and like maybe that could go on for 2 or 3 more months before it was an issue. So for things like that in that business, it's what is the CPM, cost per thousand impressions, because they're running everything via paid media. After CPM, what is the like add to cart percentage, because they're using a Shopify platform. So how many of the people who visit the page are adding that product to the cart? From there, after the cart, it is how many people actually check out. From there, it is how many people take the upsell in order to actually liquidate the traffic costs, et cetera. And then from there, I think there's like a few other metrics. That's an example. For something like a more of like info marketing business, what is time to close? That's one that most people never talk about. So from lead to close, what is that average duration? And so most people like, I want them to click today, buy today, and like never talk to them again, and I'm good. On to the next one. The reality, that's not a very healthy business, because I want to be able to know if I get you in or at least pique your interest. And of course, I'm going to skim some people off today where I'm going to get the sales that occur on day one or whatever it is. But I want to see, time to close in the like 90-day range, maybe even 120-day range as an average on a bell curve, because then I know like we're building rapport. The nurture element is actually holding the weight. So we're getting people on the list. We have leads, we have buyers, and it's way more holistically than just leads to sale today. Thank you. Have a nice one. And so it's things like that, like another example with that. The other one is like I mentioned retention, but I also want to know upfront, what are the leads that came in and what were the sources of those leads, and how many of those lead sources actually then converted to sales. And most people cannot get that granular with their business. And that's just the reality of it. And I don't care if I have to pay a little bit more for a direct mail lead than I do, or a direct mail sale than I do Facebook or some sort of SEM, search engine marketing, paid ads sort of thing. Because typically, across many of the clients we work with, a direct mail lead may cost more upfront, but the retention is way higher on the back end, or the recurring revenue is way higher. Again, I care more about that sort of stuff, but people aren't looking for it. So it's hard to give a specific answer like these 6 things are all you need to actually do, because every business is going to be different: lead flow, lead sources, time to close, et cetera. But at least that gives like a couple maybe additional metrics that people may not necessarily be tracking, that they could at least add an extra arrow to their quiver.
If you want to save time on watching all the episodes, but still get all the gold nuggets that we find from interviewing these 7, 8, and 9-figure entrepreneurs, then you can get all of that inside of the 2 Comma Club newsletter. Just go to 2ccnewsletter.com and subscribe.